Okay, Layla, let's see what we have for his final submission. Again, the image does look good. It's a lot better than it used to. When you see something like this, I mean, for your images, your finals and all, I'm looking here, and you see that little dot there. I would actually just go in here with my clone tool, and I would just get rid of it. There we go. So it was that simple. There's before, and there's afterwards. So I'm just going to back out of here, and you can see it takes that away. That little bit going from here, that little dot is a little bit of a distraction, and taking it away like that. And that is not something that we would not have done in the regular darkroom. We would have used dyes and water and paintbrushes. Originally, that's how we got rid of little things. We actually did it on the negative. Sometimes we ended up touching up on the actual print, but most of the time we did it on the negative with little paintbrushes and little sets of dyes in different colors. Used with black, gray, and I think almost like a greenish tint. But that was what we used to use. And now we have something called Photoshop. Looking at this, everything looks good. I'm going to check your color balance here. I just want to see, I want to see the little bit of yellow taken out of here. And as you see, I'm going from here to here. Look at her face and look at the background, the wall especially. Going from here, you can see it has a yellow tint. And then here, it's a little more neutral. Okay, so that's just something you may want to take a look at. Make sure your color is calibrated. And that's another thing I looked at when I was opening these. The problem may be that this was sent to me in lab rather than RGB. Okay, it's not CMYK. It is not RGB. You sent it to me in lab. And that's a different color selection. Okay, it's a different structure. It's a different algorithm. And it shows up differently. So you may want to check that. Make sure your camera is actually set to RGB, Adobe RGB or Adobe 1998, something like that. Okay, that does make a difference. Here, it's not too bad, your color balance. I do like that. It does look good. I just want to check it again. Let's just see if there's, just slightly. And we can see just a very slight look at her face going from here down to here. All right, so still, that's one of my favorite images. I did like that. Here we see her taping things out, getting ready to start. It's not too bad. I'm not even going to deal with that. The color balance does look good. I do want to see something. You know what? I do want to check something on here. I'm going to look at my adjustments because the paper is not white weight. And there's my reason behind it. There we go. Okay, it's a little bit brighter now. We went from here down to here. The paper went from gray to a white. But it does work, and your layout is coming along well. Here again, I'm just going to go in and look at my color balance. And I think this is because you sent this to me in lab color rather than RGB. We're seeing this because I did not see this much of a color cast before in your previous submissions. You had some, but we corrected that. And this is one of my favorite images. Just the way she's concentrating on here just works really well. That could have been a closing image too, but again, I think hopefully you got that one smiling or you got something else. Here's one we discussed. You cropped that well. This one here, again, I hope you took that into consideration. And whoever's working here, tell them to get that lens out of there. You do not want to get workable fixative inside that lens. You may not think you got any in there, but believe me, if it's out there, it will get in that lens. So please let her know. This one here, another good image. Look at the color balance here. Excellent, excellent color balance. This is the way they all should be. Okay, that's the way all of them should be, and that's what you need to work on. But for some reason, the other ones are showing as lab color rather than RGB. So you did very well with this. I liked the final, the way it came out. As she was pinning the rest up, you did a good job on this whole thing.